Good, wonderful day. Christopher Smith here for Men of the Shepherd. Thank you so much for joining me today. Got a special topic for you. You see, brothers, I want to talk to you about something we don't like to admit, and that's burnout. That place where the tank is empty, the weight feels crushing, and you keep pushing because men are supposed to push and push, right? But sometimes the most spiritual, the most courageous thing you can do is take a step back. Not from your family, not from your calling as a disciple, but from all the other things that have crept in and stolen your strength. See, here's the thing about burnout. Most of us don't even see it until we're already deep into it. We're grinding, we're chasing, we're overcommitted. We're telling ourselves this is just a busy season. But seasons turn into years, and suddenly we look around and we realize we're exhausted, we're angry, we're distant from God, and our family is running on scraps of our attention. Burnout has a point of diminishing returns. The deeper we get, the harder we push. We think more effort will fix the problem, but the opposite happens. It's like exercise. There's a point where the more you work out, the less you actually gain. Your muscles don't grow. Your strength and your power doesn't increase. Instead, you start breaking down. You lose sleep or you need a whole lot more sleep. Your appetite shifts. Your body turns on itself. And burnout works the same way. You are giving more but producing less. But you're pushing harder. And you're losing ground, though. You're losing ground with your wife. You're losing ground with your kids. And you're losing ground with your walk with your God. It creeps in really, really slow. You know how it goes, the long hours at work, the ministry commitments, the coaching the team, fixing the house, serving everybody else, and somehow the very people God entrusted to you, your wife and your children, end up with the lousy leftovers. And the truth is that is not sustainable. That is definitely not shepherding. And that is a slow drift into burnout. The Bible warns us about this in Mark 8:36. Jesus says, "What good is it for someone to gain the whole world yet forfeit their soul?" Are you looking to gain the whole world? And part of that is stature and recognition, climbing the corporate ladder. And maybe it's not the whole world. Maybe it's just that small promotion. Maybe it's that simple little to-do list that you make up at the beginning of the week or in the morning or whatever it is, and you get those checklists, and you got to get those checklists on there. But where are your children and your wife on that checklist? They should be on the top. They should be the very two things on the top of your checklist. So what happens when we burn out? We can lose our families. We lose them in the intimacy of the marriage. And we lose them in the chances to disciple our children in those short years that they're still at home. Think about this. Think about this picture. A shepherd. His job is to guard and to feed and protect the flock. If the shepherd burns himself out chasing someone else's flock, he's neglecting his own. And what happens? Wolves come in, sheep wander, and chaos follows. That's us when we're not careful. We say yes to too much. And even saying yes to ourselves all the time is too much. And then we run on fumes. We start snapping at our kids. We withdraw from our wives, and our hearts grow tired toward God. And here's the hard truth. Burnout is not just a health problem. It's a discipleship problem. Because when you're burnt out, you cannot lead your family like Christ leads the church. Think about it. If you're burnt out, you cannot lead your family like Christ leads the church. So what do? Sometimes the best and only move is to step back, at least initially. Say no to those things that don't align with your calling as an intentional shepherd, to look at those things first and foremost, those things that align yourself as the man of the shepherd. See, Jesus himself modeled this. Luke 5:16 says, "But Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed." Lonely places and prayed. Sometimes most of the time, no. For me, and I hope for you, many times, it's those lonely places when I feel the most connected to God. Yes, in communion with others on Sunday worship, I feel that as well, but it's different. That intimacy is important. You see, Jesus stepped back. He recentered on a regular basis, and he found strength again in his Father. If Jesus, the Son of God, made it a priority to rest, retreat, and reset, why do we think we can grind endlessly and still shepherd well? How many of you work on Sundays? I tell my family I'm not working on Sundays. I'm not doing anything. I'm hanging out with you guys. And what happens? I find myself at 6 o'clock in the morning with my cup of coffee, and I'm starting to do work. And I totally don't even realize that it's Sunday morning. And here I am an hour and a half into work trying to do something, mostly trying to organize things to see how I can do more work. It's monotony. Brothers, your family doesn't need a burnt out man who's chasing everything else. They need a father who listens. They need a husband who invests, and they need a shepherd who points them to Jesus, not just in words, but in how he lives, how he loves, and how he rests. Sometimes the most spiritual decision you can make is to pull back from that noise so you can lean into your family. So men, don't let burnout steal your calling. Don't let busyness rob your family. Step back, reset, and lead again with strength, clarity, and purpose. That's what it means to be a man of the shepherd. That's what it means to be an intentional shepherd. And let me now just be totally vulnerable and real with you. This is where I am right now. It's in the middle of August 2025, and I am burnt out. I carry a full-time job as a hospice and healthcare chaplain. I'm teaching ESL classes a couple of nights a week at the local college. I put these videos together, which usually, if I do both Sundays and Wednesdays, it's about 6 to 8 hours a week. And then I'm running another YouTube channel. I started it and I stopped it because I didn't like the way it was going. And I'm looking at new software. And if you know anything about new software, when you're doing this kind of stuff, presenting, you're learning new software. And it's a Christian channel. So that's added several hours a week. But on top of that, I am committed to my family. This is non-negotiable, always on top of the list. I'm committed, especially committed with my time with my wife, even if we sit there and do nothing, which happens a lot. And let me tell you, those are the best times. No social media, no TV. Sometimes we've got to swing on our back porch and we're just enjoying the view and the quietness. A lot of laughing. I need those hours every day. I need those hours with my wife and kids. Those things recharge me. And then I have my time in the morning with God and my time in the morning when I share God with people. I get charged when I share God with people. Without that stuff, I feel empty. Those things charge me. But it's the other stuff, the not the white noise, the dark noise. That stuff that really piles on. So lately, it feels like everything is piled on. In the church, I have some spiritual tensions that are going on over the past several months, and it's not just with me, it's with my family. And this brings in a sense of just some dissension and anxiety, and it's part of the burnout. And I need to focus on that because my family is involved. See, I can sense that the enemy is trying to press in at this time in my family and in me. And at home, the house itself has been a stress too. Just recently, just the other day, my well water broke, and I had I had to cancel being at a meeting at work, which was really important, to be working on this well, and everybody's digging my background, and everything is coming up, and there's water all over the place, and it just turned out to be a nightmare and a huge expense that I was not expecting. And then, of course, when you have money flowing out from from areas in your house that you weren't expecting that's going to impact bills. And that in and of itself would have been okay, but it's the stress of everything else is just piling up on me. So it's kind of like was the big bell that said, dude, you need to relax. So I'm telling you what I'm doing. I'm taking a break for now, and I'm stepping back from Sunday devotionals and from what I had planned to be Wednesday discipleship. I love discipleship. I love the teaching part of it because it's never ending. It's always going on. And maybe just for a couple weeks or maybe until mid-September, I'll still try to check in maybe and share some updates. But right now, my priority is rest, family, and God, period. And as I step back, I'm just asking you, please pray for me. Pray for my family and keep walking yourselves strong as men of the shepherd. Stick around, please. This is still early in the days of this channel and this community and the website, and I believe God will use it to bless you, bless others. And just a shout out to James. You have been a treasure, and in this time of burnout and making decisions, your support really was very important. So God bless you all. God bless your families. God bless your wife. God bless your children. And God bless you. And before we leave, here are some reflection questions that I want to present to you. And these will be on the website, menoftheshepherd.com. So the first one is, where in your life do you feel the weight of burnout right now? Are you feeling it, or are you coming out of burnout, or are you in the middle of burnout and you may not even realize you're in the middle of burnout, or you're just walking into it? Take an assessment. What commitments or activities might you need to step back from so you can be more present with your wife and kids? First, I guess the question is, are you present with your wife and kids? And if you aren't, or you feel that you're less, what's going on and what can you back off on now before it becomes burnout? How can you follow Jesus' example of withdrawing for prayer and rest this week? Are there moments that you could take away that could offer prayer to him? And here's something. If you drive a lot and you need to park your car and you're alone, when you get into the parking lot, just take 30 seconds, a minute. That's not a lot of time. And be with God in that time. I know a lot of you guys, myself included, sing in the car and worship music and singing to God. But taking that time when you're parked your car, you're not driving. You don't have to focus on anything else, and you don't have to listen to anything else but yourself and your time with God. That might be just a couple of moments a day more than you ever did before. And if you're honest, were you on the road toward burnout? Fresh, tired? Where are you on the road toward burnout? Are you fresh? Are you tired? Or are you already deep in it? Take an assessment of yourself. And then finally, who in your life can hold you accountable to not drift back into burnout? Do you have an accountability partner? Now, accountability partners are very important, and we have them for many different reasons. Just so you know, make sure that there are rules and regulations if you have an accountability partner. I recently was with a group, and they thought they were doing accountability, and they thought we were into spiritual formation, and it was just a bunch of guys getting together like a bar without the alcohol, and it was hard. But that's it, guys. If you want this stuff, if you're listening to this on your phone, in the car, wherever you are, menoftheshepherd.com. I'll make sure that it's all posted there for you. Take care. God bless. Thanks for listening. Shalom.